this is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, welcome to the 10 best features of the iPhone X. And before we start, I just want to say the 10th best feature, I am lucky enough to say that no other YouTuber has talked about this feature or knows about this feature at least on any of their YouTube videos. So I've watched 15 today from the people that were there, and sometimes when you're not at the event, you get to find out features that no one else did because they were at the event, busy, recording, all this kind of stuff. So without further ado, let's get to the 10 features. Now these are in order of what I believe is the best one would be number 10, and starting off will be the ones that I'm not as excited for. So let's get to it. So first of all, the first feature is going to be Face ID. Now, why isn't this number 1? Well, first, he had some issues with it on stage. If you saw, or if you go back and check out, he actually tried to unlock it twice, then wiped his face away, so it looks like sweat could be a factor, and got this secondary phone that had the face unlock and was able to unlock his face that way. Not to mention that, like I said, I've watched a lot of YouTubers, over 10 of them so far today, and that being said, a lot of them said that, oh, when they were trying to do it in front of us, it wasn't always working. So that being said, I just don't think I think it's gonna be a first generation unlock thing. So that's my opinion on it. I also don't believe it's as fast as Touch ID, and finally, I don't like that it doesn't unlock the phone in terms of going to the home screen after it recognizes your face. At least the option should be there. Maybe Apple will implement that later, but I don't like that you just get the, oh, now it's unlocked, now swipe up to actually go to your home screen. If I want to do it like I like the iris scanner where I can just look at it and it unlocks. Now granted, this iPhone, it can do it way more directionally like this, so that's outstanding. So that's the big thing about it, but that doesn't get me enough to get excited if it's not always going to work. So we'll have to wait and see. The next feature is going to be an emoji. Look, I know a lot of people are going to go crazy over this. iMessage is going to be flooded with it. I don't really care that much. I really don't. Look, please, if you love it, awesome. Put it in the comment section that you love it. I'm happy for you. Let me know which one you're going to do. I like the panda the best. Which one is your favorite? Let me know. AR. So AR is really getting hyped up more now. Both Apple and Google are really stepping up in the AR and putting it on their mainstream phones. The iPhones have it, the S8 has it, so you're getting more of the mainstream phones now starting to support AR, which is really cool, of course, because the more support we get for it, the more we're going to get overall. Now, I will say this, that I feel like AR is going to be one of those things that you try out, you feel that it's cool for a little bit, and then you stop using it. Point in case, Pokemon Go, the biggest AR experiment ever, and people turned off the AR feature about after a week. I just think it's a really cool thing to show off to your friends, and then you're not going to really use it that much. That's my opinion. I'm very curious to see if some of you guys have way more support for it, but let me know. The next one is Bluetooth 5.0. Now, for those of you who don't know, Bluetooth 5.0 just started coming out on phones this year. And the fact that Apple already jumped into it having a Bluetooth 5.0 is awesome. It means that there's going to be more and more support for it, and possibly all Bluetooth headphones and speakers starting next year could have Bluetooth 5.0. Why do I say that? Well, because Apple owns Beats. So you know they're gonna make sure that, oh, we can get more range, we can get that, and we can hype our phones and Beats as having Bluetooth 5.0. So that's really exciting, and other companies have to compete with it, so we're gonna get a lot of Bluetooth 5.0 technology next year, and Bluetooth 5.0 is awesome. The next one is the selfie camera on the front camera. Now that's a really cool concept. Now it's not the first phone to have it. There have been other phones, about 3 or 4 other phones that have had this feature. But again, it's a really cool feature. I love using it. I have had it on the S8 earlier this year, and it's a really great feature just to be able to take a portrait in selfie mode. I feel that's the main time you want to use portrait mode, so that's a really cool thing that I like about it. And it doesn't mean you have to have someone else around to take your own picture. So I really like that. Selfie, portrait, it's a great feature. Now this one is a really outstanding one, and that is 1080p at 240 frames per second slow motion. It really is a higher quality slow motion than, as I feel, most phones have. I know Sony has a higher one, but that's not really popular in the US. So for US, this is pretty much the best one we have gotten, and that's really outstanding. 1080p at 240 frames per second slow motion is just going to be awesome. I mean, it's going to stand out. It's going to be bigger than most other flagships have, and again, because Apple has it, now other competitors are going to have it and add it to their phones, so it's just growing the business overall. Apple finally has wireless charging. Now this is awesome because of the fact that if you don't know, wireless charging is much better for your battery life in terms of overnight charging. It's the best way to charge overnight. A lot of tech goes into it. I visited battery factories where they actually make them and explain it to me. Simple thing without getting into, you know, life cycles and all that kind of stuff is just this. Less heat, better for your battery. That's the quick way of saying it, but everyone always asks me. I cannot explain it as well as it was technically explained to me, but yeah. Wireless charging is going to be much better for that purpose, but also Apple's jumped on the board with fast charging, so finally the Lightning connector isn't as slow as it has been. Honestly, if you are outside of the Apple ecosystem, you know that there's been much faster chargers for a while now, but now Apple does the same, half the charge in half an hour. That is awesome. I love the fact because every time when I charge all my devices, I'm sorry, the Apple takes the longest one, and now it's going to be possibly the fastest one because some of these other phones don't have half the charge in half an hour anymore. They're more half the half the charge in 40 minutes. So the fact that Apple's now even beaten some of them is an awesome concept. The next one is definitely going to be the portrait lighting. Now this is the third favorite for me, and the reason why I like this one so high up is because of the fact that there's nothing really like it that I've seen. Look, you might know some third-party apps that have already done this, great, but the fact that you get to do this not only on the rear camera, but on the selfie portrait as well is really awesome, and you can do this after the fact of taking it as well, which is really cool. I love more and more of these dual cameras and portrait modes and all these kind of things are doing it after the fact, and that's really awesome. The fact that you can change it up after you've taken it is way better than just taking it and being stuck with a photo. So this is a great feature, and again, something that I haven't seen at least from any other company that I know of. The next one is definitely, again, I know some people are going to say, oh, plenty of phones have had these, and they have, but iPhone finally has an OLED display. That is awesome. OLEDs are way better. I know Apple gave their sanctimonious speech of like, oh, we had to wait till OLEDs caught up. OLEDs caught up 2 years ago in terms of color reproduction. In terms of brightness, they are way brighter. You have phones like the Note 8 that's over 1,000 nits of brightness when LCDs were at 300 to 500. So yeah, they have caught up a while back, but plain and simple, this is the best screen you're ever going to see on an iPhone or any iOS device. This is going to make every other iOS device look like a horrible screen. Maybe not the iPad Pro with the 120 Hz, but compared to every other iOS device, this is going to pop. It's going to look great. It's going to be more vibrant. Blacks are going to be black. Emeralds you're going to be able to see for the greens. Magenta you're going to be able to see for the pinks. Colors you were not able to produce on an LCD, you're able to produce here. But not only that, you also have better battery life, and that's going to help out with the 2-hour better battery life compared to the iPhone 7 is that. Alright, so what is the #1 best feature of the iPhone X that no other YouTuber I've seen has caught this? Well, I was going to start off by saying the same thing a lot of other YouTubers said, which is 4K at 60 FPS. Now 60 frames per second is a really great frame rate. It's actually the rate you're watching my video on if you're putting it up all the way to full quality. If your device can see 720p or 1080p at 60 FPS on YouTube, my video can play that. But this can do 4K at 60 FPS, which is amazing in itself. But there's another frame rate that no one saw, but Apple has it on their website. So I copied it, and just to show you, it can also do 4K at 24 frames per second. That is huge for anyone into cinematography, anyone that loves to shoot video like a movie. 24 frames per second is what almost every movie, TV show, everything is shot with. That is amazing, and these are two video formats I don't know if anyone has done on a smartphone yet. Definitely no one as obviously high up as Apple, but you can thank their new codec in video for this. But it's awesome. There is no better video quality probably out in the industry in mobile compared to this. So that's the big standout feature of it, that 4K at 60 frames per second or 24 frames per second, whatever side you fall on in recording and cinematics, this phone has them both. That's really awesome, and it's something that you better believe every other smartphone manufacturer better have next year to compete, because that's the standout feature in my opinion by far, and the best feature by far on the iPhone X. Alright guys, those were my 10 best features. Let me know yours in the comments section down below. What are the top 3 features you are most excited for, and were you surprised that it can actually do 24 frames per second and no one's talking about it? Let me know in the comments section down below. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. We will do lots of videos on the iPhone 8 Plus and the iPhone X coming up. Again, competing it compared to the Note 8 and all other phones out on the market and seeing which phone is the best for you. Thank you as always for watching. This has been RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Thank you for watching our video. If you liked it, why don't you go ahead and subscribe up there. Make sure you follow us on social media right here. And of course, check out our latest video up there. And right down here, you're going to find the perfect video for you. Or at least that's what YouTube tells me. Thanks again.